I'm not trying to make it a daily segment where we go over a Jessica Tarlov clip, but this one's too good to pass up. So we're doing it again. If you're not familiar, there's a show on Fox News called The Five, and Jessica Tarlov is the one liberal host. And then you have four kind of typical Fox News host, propagandist types. And Jessica Tarlov will lay down facts and her co-hosts will just get super, super uncomfortable. And it's great to see. And I'm really curious to observe. I wish I could go and watch some viewer of Fox News watch Jessica Tarlov make accurate points and how they perceive that information. But this time, it's so uncomfortable for her co-host that you'll hear Greg Gutfeld go, ugh, at the end of her point, which is hilarious. And it's on the subject of the reality in this country that some of the states that are the majority of the 10 most dependent states on federal subsidies are 7 out of 10 of them are red states. And when you look at that and then you look at the revenue, the tax dollars that are brought in federally because of blue states, there's an argument to be made, if you want to look at it this way, that in a sense blue states have to subsidize some of these red states that are in particularly bad situations fiscally, economically. And that's a fair argument. It's a complex conversation for sure. And there are red states that bring in tons of tax dollars and have a thriving economy. And that's absolutely the case. But when the Republican message is democratic governance drives states into the ground and the actual metrics on the ground don't at all reflect that, it's important to point it out. And that's what Jessica Tarlov does here.
But I think it's wonderful that there are new boom towns and boom states, and I think that should be celebrated. I also think that it would be great then if there are these southern Republican-controlled states that they start paying their fair share and take care of Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Kentucky, because I'm sick of taking care of them from up here in New York or in California, because blue states pay the highest taxes, and then those federal dollars get shipped down south to make sure that they have decent schools, they have health care, they have good roads, et cetera. So by all means, South Carolina, Nancy Mace, who wants to take credit for things she voted against, please give some money to Kentucky, help them out. Tommy Tuberville, talk about you all the time. You should be paying more and taking care of your own people instead of feeding off of Democrats that pay higher taxes.
Wow. Wow. Oh, I skipped the part. I paused right before the good part. Sorry.
Off of Democrats that pay higher taxes.
Ugh.
But I think...
Ugh. Facts. How dare you, Jessica? Before we discuss further, Gavin Newsom, during that brutal interview for Sean Hannity that Sean Hannity conducted with Gavin Newsom, made a similar point.
This is the honest way to be the fourth largest economy in the world. What are you arguing for? Mississippi's economic policy? Is that, I mean, literally, that's what you're arguing for.
Me, if I wanted
the great Sam Brownback's Kansas policy, I mean, it was a debacle. No economic growth. 71% of the GDP in America are in blue counties.
I would take
71% of the GDP in America are blue counties. Progressive policies.
Okay, that are paying high taxes and
71% of the country's wealth. 7 of the top 10 dependent states are your states.
Let's say you.
No, we're subsidizing your states, Sean, because of your policies.
I'm in New York. You're not subsidizing anything for me.
But your philosophy.
I'm getting the hell out of New York, though.
Oh my gosh, just do it already. I'm getting the hell out of New York. These democratic policies are horrible, but I really want to live here. Yeah. So the headline point, I guess, of this segment is these narratives that are so, for some reason, effectively pushed by the GOP. Most often, these really, like I said, effective narratives that help them win elections just aren't either fully accurate or they aren't accurate at all. And the idea that these democratic policies are driving states into the ground, not accurate. And these lazy liberals are mooching off the government while conservatives pay for all their stuff. Not accurate. And we've gone through all these specific metrics in the past, whether it be education, infrastructure, crime, poverty. The metrics are not on the side of the argument that Republican governance leads to good outcomes for the people. And so I wish more individuals would be privy to the facts so they could stop voting for Republicans and often hurting their own interests. And that's the really sad part. But as long as the branding is effective and impacts people in the ways that it does, people will still allow themselves to vote for a party that is not benefiting their lives. They're not improving their lives, but they're good at making bumper stickers, I guess.